Hey guys, how you doing? Hope everything is well. Everything is good with me. Y'all, we have another school shooting in Maryland. Come on. Let's read this. This is getting out of hand. Joppatowne high school student shoots classmate in the bathroom. How did they get through the door? They don't have no metal detectors. All this here shooting that's going on, and they didn't get no metal detectors. All these schools should have metal detectors because these kids is getting younger and younger and younger. It doesn't even matter. Kindergarten, first grade, whatever. Okay. A Joppatowne high school student shot a classmate in the bathroom on campus. Harford County Sheriff Jeff said the sheriff The sheriff said calls started to come in around 12:36 p.m. Friday, that's today, on an active shooter situation. The sheriff said it turns out the incident was not an active shooter situation. Sky Team 11 reports at 12:45 p.m. that the student was being evacuated. Hey guys, how you doing? I hope everything is well. Everything is good with me. Yo, yep. Another school shooting today. Another one. It wasn't a mass shooting, thank God, but it was a shooting that happened today. Joppatowne High School student shoots classmate in the bathroom. How he get a gun in the school, y'all? The sheriff said calls started to come in around 12:36 p.m. today for an active shooter situation. The sheriff said it turns out the incident was not active shooter situation. Sky Team 11 reported at 12:45 p.m. that the school was being evacuated. It's a tragic day 4 days into the school year. Goffler said at a news conference. The sheriff said a 16-year-old boy for whom a 16-year-old boy for whom Friday was his first day at Joppatowne High School shot a 15-year-old classmate in the bathroom. Jotler said it's believed a single shot was fired that struck the victim. The sheriff said school nurse attended to the victim, who was flown to a hospital in serious condition. We just had a mass shooting yesterday. Now we're having this. What is going on? What is wrong with these damn kids? Oh my God, I told y'all these 2,000 babies, there's something wrong with them. For real. Our hearts are breaking for the victim and the victim's family. The circumstances are absolutely terrible. And this should not be happening in school. Harford County Public Schools Superintendent Sean said. The sheriff said the 16-year-old suspect the 16-year-old suspect fled the school and was apprehended within minutes at a nearby apartment complex. Did he go to the school? He ran to a housing complex. He ran home. But a weapon had not been recovered. Sky Team 11 video shows authorities taking a person into custody. The sheriff said the teenager will be charged as an adult and a motive remained unknown. The sheriff said the principal who heard the resulting fight, and the school resource officers respond immediately. The sheriff said the first outside deputy arrived at the school within 2 minutes, and upwards of 100 officers was at the school within 15 minutes. 100 officers came to that school. You could just imagine, because that was tragic that happened yesterday with the mass shooting. Now we in Maryland, and someone else gets shot. They don't know what's going on. They don't know if it's another mass shooting, copycat. They don't know, so they came prepared. 100. They said within 15 minutes from Baltimore County. The Maryland Transportation Authority's area municipal police officers are, as well as the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosions. They was not playing, y'all. The system worked, and it worked in this instant. The sheriff said. Okay, they have a picture here of the men. They said the 15-year-old shot one serious condition. 16-year-old Brand banged on the door in a neighbor. Let me read this over. The 15-year-old shot one serious condition. 16-year-old banged on a door in a neighborhood during his escape. Will be charged as an adult. Motive unknown. Wait, now. He went around banging on doors. What he was trying to hide? See, imagine somebody had opened the door and let this boy in, not knowing that he just freaking shot somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, what would have happened? This is just stupid. Sky Team 11 video shows a heavy response from the sheriff's office, fire department, firefighters, paramedics from the Jaffa Magnolian Volunteer Fire Company at the school. The sheriff officer said a unvacated center was set up for the parents to pick up their children to Good Shepherd Presbyterian Church. Wow. Harford County opened its non-emergency information hotline. Parents, guardians looking for information about their students at Joppatowne High School. That's crazy. They actually had to have the parents to come get the kids because they don't know what the hell is going on. This is just ridiculous. Come on now, school just started. And already we're going through it. This is a week, not even 1 week the school been open. A motive remains unknown. The sheriff pointed to recent changes in the state law governing juvenile justice reform that he had preclude deputies for speaking with a teenage suspect. This is a 16-year-old suspect that we are now not allowed to talk to. So, as far as trying to get some information to our detectives as to why we are not allowed to ask the suspect in this case, the sheriff said we'll talk to the state attorney, and we had to do significantly information that will be changed in association with the shooting without the need to be interviewed. Overwhelming evidence, if you will, but the investigation is ongoing. We are just devastated to be part of the awful group of schools to have experienced things like this, and we are going to do everything we can to make the situation this situation to never happen again. Before the news conference, a Harford County public school spokesman told 11 News that the following message was sent to families. This is an important message from our Joppatowne High School community. The Harford County Sheriff Office had responded to a school for an isolated incident on the campus today. There was a fight on campus to excuse me, two known parties. A weapon was brought onto campus and used in an incident. The HCSO and the ACPS are working together to get this information to you. Please continue to follow the HCFO Facebook page for updates on this investigation. When asked about how the student could have come into possession of a gun, the sheriff said, in part, we need parents to be parents. As in any situation, to know what the kids are up to. They said no further information was given. Then they had they said, please be advised, this is an isolated incident, not an active shooter. Avoid the area. Okay, that's it. They said you could pick your kids up at Presbyterian Church. And this is just awful. Every time I turn around, it's something. It's something like, this is just so sad. This is like really, really sad because we just experienced a bit of mass shooting yesterday. We just this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Now they're gonna see, like, you have a lot of good areas, a lot of areas that but they just gonna have to put detectives in all the schools. Because we just can't chance it. Because we don't want our children shot up. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all, I have a video for y'all to watch because I didn't see it, but I heard about it. I was on my way home. And, yeah, this is just really sad. And my heart goes out to the young man that was shot. He's in critical condition. But, God is good. Hopefully he make it. Y'all, we just keep praying for him because we don't want this to happen. These are kids. This is awful. This is awful. And you know what the crazy part is? That he was in the school and shot the young man in the bathroom, the 15-year-old in the bathroom. Then he ran out of the school. Like, where's the school safeties at? That they even allowed, I feel like at a certain time, those doors, the school safety should be by them doors at a certain time. I really believe that, they should have them by the doors because this is really unacceptable. You know what I'm saying? So what we gonna sit back and just keep waiting to make sure, what school is next? God forbid, we don't want that to happen. But damn, who would think that the next day another person gets shot in the school? Well, in New York here, the first day of school, the teacher got shot. They were shooting outside, and the bullet went through the window and shot the teacher. This is crazy. They just don't care where they shoot at. They just shoot any place they want to shoot. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all watch the video because this here is so out of hand. Like, I don't know what to say. I just pray for the little boy to get a speedy recovery. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry that this happened to him. I don't know. They're gonna have more information on it because it really basically just happened. So y'all, just wait for the video. All right.
And that breaking news, Joppatowne High School evacuated after a fight involving weapons there. That's Sheriff Gaylor at the microphone right now.
They're going to give us an update on what has been happening today. This all unfolded about 12:45 this afternoon. students were
Everybody ready?
evacuated. Let's
All right,
listen.
good afternoon, everyone. Sadly, we stand here today to discuss another school shooting. I'm very thankful. This came out at 12:36 today. Our Department of Emergency Services Dispatch Center took calls for what was possibly an active shooter incident. Thankfully, that was not the case, but we did have a shooting that took place in the school. One suspect, one victim. At 12:36 again was the initial call. There was the SRO assigned to the school who was in the school who did not hear the shot. As the principal, I apologize, the principal of the school also was in the school at the time, did not hear the shot, but heard the commotion that resulted from it. Both the principal and our SRO responded to the scene. Nurses, the shooting took place in a first floor men's bathroom. The initial After the initial shooting, the suspect left the bathroom, left the school. Other individuals in the school brought the victim out into the hallway where he was immediately attended to by nurses as part of the public school system. Within the first 2 minutes, we had our first response deputy on the scene. Within 15 minutes, more than 100 police officers were here from all of our local partner agencies, Bel Air, Aberdeen, Harvey Grace, the Maryland State Police, as well as Transportation Authority, and I know I'm going to miss somebody. Baltimore County Police sent units up into the county. ATF is here. I've received calls from other jurisdictions offering their support. The medics from Department of Emergency Services were here in a matter of minutes as well. Immediately attended to the patient who was airlifted to a trauma center. Again, he is the victim in this shooting is a 15-year-old male who is in serious condition. Last we heard, the suspect in the case, thanks to our community members, the suspect in our case was apprehended within minutes. He's a 16-year-old student at the school. This was his first day, although we're the 4 days into the school year. This was his first day in the school, and this altercation apparently took place in the bathroom that resulted in a single shot, what we believe to be a single shot being fired, which struck the victim. He went a short distance away to some houses. They also called the police, called dispatch. Information was given to responding deputies who were able to encounter him very quickly and make an arrest. With our criminal-friendly legislature here in Maryland, this is a 16-year-old suspect that we are now not allowed to talk to. So as far as trying to give some information, our detectives to get information about the questions I have, that all of our partners behind me have, as to why we're not allowed to ask the suspect in this case. We do have, we've talked to the state's attorney, we do have sufficient information that he will be charged in association with this shooting without the need to be interviewed, overwhelming evidence, if you will. But again, that investigation is ongoing. I'm very thankful again for the quick response of our deputies, of all of our officers and the troopers in the county, all of our allied partners, all the officer assistants, the Department of Emergency Services, the great work at Dispatch Center. I know Rick Ayers is with us, the Director of DES, County Executive is with us. I can't introduce everybody, but again, a tragic day, 4 days into the school year. We're all familiar with the horrible shooting that took 4 lives in Georgia just a couple of days ago, and here we stand in Harford County with a school shooting. That's about as much investigative information as I'm going to release at this point. It's early on. We have so many of our partners working with us. I'm joined by Dr. Bolson. I can't undersell his staff and what they did. Again, the principal and the nurse attending to this victim right away, hopefully giving him a good chance to survive this event, I pray. Dr. Bolson, did you want to say anything?
Thank you, Sheriff. So I would like to start by thanking all of these first responders. I pulled up to the school to see just a sea of lights and people doing their jobs on behalf of our students in this community. So thank you so much for that. Also to know that, our hearts are breaking for the victim and this victim's family. The circumstances are absolutely terrible, and this should not be happening in schools. I also want to thank our parents for their patience. You know, when an incident happens, our job first is to secure the students and make sure that when we do release them back to their families, that we're doing it as carefully and we're keeping as much track of everybody as we possibly can. So for anyone who still isn't aware, you know, the reunification site is at Good Shepherd Presbyterian Church, just up the road here. That process is working. We've had families going through and being reunified with their children at this time. Again, thank you to this entire community, all of the first responders. Thank you so much. I want to say on behalf of my staff, thank you to them. They did the job. Unfortunately, we prepare for things like this, but it's never the same as when it actually happens. And so, you know, we're you know, just devastated to be a part of this awful group of schools that have experienced things like this. And we're going to do everything we can, working with this community to make sure this absolutely never happens again.
And with that, and yes, as Dr. Bosa said, the reunification effort between the parents is going on. I'm going to take some questions for anyone here, but we're going to be limited on what we are willing to offer. At this point in time, the firearm has not been recovered. But other than that, yes, we have an idea of what kind of weapon, but I'm not going to go into any other investigative details at this time. We have no idea. And again, you know, I hope my frustration is clear that this legislature has handcuffed police. There are families of every other student in that school and the parents of the shooter who have a right to know why we all stand here today and why there's a person who has been shot in one of our schools, and we are not allowed to ask the person who committed that act because of this crazy legislature we have in this state. We do not know at this point in time, and hopefully the easiest way to find that out would be to ask the suspect, but we don't get to go that way. So hopefully the investigation, as we again continue to work the investigative side of this, we have a ton of investigators on scene. I would probably undersell if I tried to give you a number, but our investigators will work this case diligently with our partners and hopefully come up with those answers. Does not. There was an incident involving some Joppatowne High School students yesterday. I have not heard that that event is related to this event in any way, but I don't want to appear to be lying, you know, giving you false information that we later find out those two incidents were tied together. The answer right now is not that we're familiar with. I don't know if that's a normal thing. Obviously, the normal thing is to show up on the first day of school, but I think I'd have to defer to Dr. Bolson whether that's like out of the norm for some of our students in some of our schools.
I mean, we have first week of school, we have students who show up. I mean, most of our students show up on the first day as they should, but in some cases that doesn't always happen. So we do see students coming to us, enrolling with us, maybe coming from other places, not clear when we were starting, but we'd have to look into the specifics of this case.
Correct.
I guess that's part of the investigation that your deputies can't do, right? Is that frustrating for this investigation?
Oh, absolutely. And you know, we don't have it. So unless it was dropped in the school or somewhere between the point he was picked up, or was it given to another, you know, we have no idea. And again, the easiest way to get that answer is we have a person who we're going to be charging as an adult for committing a heinous crime in a school, and we're not allowed to talk to him. That is lunacy.
There will definitely be counseling. In terms of opening and sort of re-entering the school, we haven't sorted that out yet. We want to make sure our students are able to get back with their families. Once we have that taken care of, we'll start working on the next steps for getting school open and returning to business as usual.
I don't know, you said you were schools prepared for something like this. Can you tell us the extent of that preparation and how they played a role in this incident?
Of course. We prepare for all emergency incidents, whether, I mean, things we've seen going on around the country or other types of emergencies. And so, you know, our schools, our staff is all trained in active shooter. In this case, this incident, I think, occurred around the time of right after a class change. So there's usually a lot of students moving around. But even in terms of, what's our response? The reunification is one of the hardest parts of any significant issue like this, whenever you have a crisis in a school. And so knowing that we had the teams ready to roll to Joppatowne to set up the reunification, that we had all the, the list of students in the schools and things like that. So the reunification is a big part. So I don't know if there's more to that I didn't answer for you.
And I'll just say from the law enforcement side, we train routinely with our allied partners in the county, and sadly this isn't our first horrible event that we've had in the county. But again, to have the ability to have two police, not only an SRO in the school, but the initial responding deputy there within 2 minutes, and over 100 police officers, because of the great policing that is here in our county and our surrounding jurisdictions, which responded with our state and federal partners, to have over 100 police officers on the scene. Very thankful that this was not an active shooter incident, but it showed our response, as if it was one, is ready. And I pray we never have to test that system.
Sheriff, do you know how many times this victim was shot, where, and how many, if you recovered any, ballistics, how many times the gun was fired?
I do know that we do believe just one round was fired, which struck from the suspect that struck the victim. I do not know as far as what has been recovered.
Can you go into more detail about the community's assistance in veterans?
There were calls back to 911 center, which is the county answering point for 911 calls. So there were calls into the center indicating that this person was over near the school in the community banging on doors, and that response over there is what led to his being quickly brought into custody.
Given what happened in Georgia just a few days ago, what's your message to the men and women that showed up that got this under control quickly?
I couldn't be more proud, and I get to say that routinely, that about the men and women of not just the sheriff's office but of our partners. We are blessed here in Harford County. We are blessed in our surrounding jurisdictions to have police officers who are well trained, who are ready to go in and attack a threat. We saw in Parkland, sadly, years ago, what it cost not to respond indirectly. And I listened to the radio traffic, as many people here behind, as this event was unfolding, and just the professionalism of how they set up incident command, unified command with our public safety partners at DES, fire, and EMS. It just, the system worked, and it worked in this instance. It is, again, the sad part is that we're discussing a school shooting at all.
I know you know, you haven't had a chance to talk, but since you know who he is, does he have a juvenile record that you can...
I don't know. I know that he's not unknown to us, but I don't know whether that means he has a juvenile record or just, we've had calls for service that have involved him in the past. I do know that. Anybody, anything else?
What's your message to parents moving forward, whether you or the superintendent? There's a lot of tense moments, a lot of trauma today. Just what's your message to those people in that school community?
Well, from the sheriff's office standpoint, I'd like the message to be that we're going to do our very best to keep our students safe in schools. It's a shame that we have supported some legislation in the past that hasn't. This is from my personal opinion, that hasn't worked to make our schools safe, hasn't been passed, that would have, in my opinion, worked to make the schools safer. But we're ready to respond in times of need. But we need parents to know what these young people are doing. And we all have the question, why is a 16-year-old, just as the case, the person in Georgia was 14 or 15, and his dad just was charged for allowing him access or having that weapon. What is the deal with this? That's something the investigators will be looking at. How did he get his hands on this gun? But that is where the problem lies, and we're going to continue to do our very best to keep our community safe by following those leads out to the end. But we need parents to actually be parents in many situations and know what their children are up to. It did not involve the school as far as I know, but I just know just a very little bit about it, so I don't feel comfortable just that he was not unknown to us. Dr. Wilson, you want to answer?
From my perspective, I know there's going to be many questions from our community. People will want to process this, and they'll be looking to help us find even better solutions for safety. So we will by next week be putting out, a schedule of times when people can engage with us, how they might be able to engage with us to work through processing what happened, and I would ask that people just keep an eye on the messaging that we're sending out. We send a lot of information out for parents, but also for the entire community, and we'd ask that people engage with us in that. We'll be sure to reach out and process this with them, because I know there will be a lot of questions.